People might know Jim Bunning as a Hall of Fame pitcher, but since he's been in the Senate, he's been known, he's gotten a reputation for somebody with a short fuse, and we certainly did witness that today when he refused to answer questions about why he is blocking some of those benefits that would go to people who are unemployed, for example. And he says he is taking a stand against deficit spending, but try to ask him that and don't get an answer.
It's a package of $10 billion to extend funding for laid-off workers, road projects, and more. But one senator, Kentucky's Jim Bunning, is blocking it, and he angrily refused to answer questions about why.
Excuse me.
People who are unemployed?
I've got to go to the floor.
Senator, could you just explain to us why you're holding this up? I'm sure you have an explanation.
Excuse me.
Okay, are you concerned about those that are going to lose their benefits? I guess we have our answer.
Okay. Bunning's move is having a real-world effect. Construction workers here started the morning on the job, rebuilding a bridge outside Washington. But as the clock ticked towards noon, workers on this $36 million project were told to stop and leave. The site locked up.
Shut it, tell everybody to go home at 12. Tell everybody to go home.
The Department of Transportation says it furloughed 2,000 workers around the country because Congress failed to pass legislation to extend funding for the projects. The $10 billion measure Bunning is blocking also includes unemployment benefits for some 400,000 people, COBRA health subsidies for laid-off workers, and small business loans. Bunning did go to the Senate floor and did explain. He is for extending benefits, but he wants to pay for them, not add to the deficit.
If we can't find $10 billion to pay for something that we all support, we will never pay for anything on the floor of this U.S. Senate.
Bunning even formally offered a measure to pay for the benefits. Democrats objected.
But where was my friend from Kentucky when we had 2 wars that were unpaid for during the Bush administration? Tax cuts that cost more than $1 trillion, unpaid for. Where was my friend and the Republicans objecting to that?
Democrats immediately saw the political benefit in playing up a GOP senator blocking legislation that would help hard-hit Americans. The Department of Transportation's press release carefully detailed for reporters examples of popular projects halted because of Bunning. And the vice president jumped in too.
It'll mean that state and local governments won't get paid for projects they've already done. It means furloughing 2,000 people this week alone.
Now, Democrats say they just disagree with Senator Bunning. They say that this is emergency money that does not need to be paid for. And now, Democrats do have the ability to work around Senator Bunning's objection, but right now, at least in the near future, they say they have no plans to do that.
Why not? They could find a way to, since they have considerable Republican support, to go ahead and break this challenge from Bunning.
Political brinksmanship. In the near future, we're talking the next couple of days, Democrats say that it's up to Jim Bunning to change his mind, and they feel that they are on the political right side of this, and it would take procedurally to work around him, and they think that they're, again, winning here politically. Now, I will tell you that they do have plans long-term to deal with all of these benefits, to put them back in place for several months, if not more. But legislation to do that won't really get started probably until the end of the week. That's in the Senate. It still has to go through the House, so that could take some time.
Dana Bash watching the story. Thank you, Dana. Thanks very much. Right now, about 11.5 million people